Hey friends, thanks for being here. I'm going to let you know right off the bat, this is not going to be our typical video. We're not really discussing any kind of plumbing tips, plumbing tutorials, instructionals, nothing like that. This is probably going to turn into a video where I kind of rant a little bit. I've got something on my mind that's just really been bothering me, and I need to unload it a little bit. I don't even know for sure that I'm going to publish this video. I may not even make it public, may not even upload it. But I probably will, because I'm hoping that I can get some feedback from some viewers who are not involved in the situation and kind of let me know your thoughts on this. Kind of let me know if you think that I'm right in this, if I'm missing something, if you have any any advice for me in any regards. I'd really welcome and appreciate it. I'm a very open-minded person, and I'm okay being told that I'm wrong. So I don't plan to share this video with my local community because this has to do with an incident that has occurred with somebody in the community. I'm not going to have any kind of, not going to share any private information. Everything's going to be kept confidential. Now, there are some of you who are in my local community who are subscribed, who maybe watch my videos, so I realize that some of you may end up seeing this, and that's fine. You're welcome to. But the point isn't to shame anyone, especially if anybody happens to have seen what took place here and recognize who the individual is. Hopefully you won't. Anyway, I'm already ranting a little bit. So I was on the Nextdoor platform the other day. Somebody had asked for a plumber, and I put my information out there, let them know I'd be happy to help them out. A few other people chimed in and referred me, always appreciated. And somebody commented underneath my direct comment, saying that I am overpriced, I don't have your back, that I don't allow you to get other quotes, I'm not recommended. And that's really bothered me for a few different reasons. So I should probably take a step back and let you know there's two very big reasons why it's important to me that I satisfy my customers. One reason is I'm a one-person company. I do have a buddy who rides with me once or twice a month, just kind of lending me a hand. He's not a plumber. He just, he'll assist me how he's able to and just kind of relieve some of the burden off of me on more strenuous days. But aside from that, it's just me. And that's probably all it's ever going to be. So that's how I take care of my family. I want to make sure that I'm earning positive, glowing feedback so I can continue to take care of my family. I'm not making money on YouTube right now. Maybe that will change down the road, but it doesn't look like that's going to be a thing anytime soon. And that's how I provide for my family. So it's very important to me from that regards that I'm satisfying my customers so I can continue to operate. But there's another reason that's perhaps a bit more personal. I've never shared this publicly, but I've got anxiety. I've actually been medically diagnosed. I've got social anxiety, and I know many of us do. It's not really that unusual of a thing, but since I was a kid, I remember being a very young kid, and I was always told that I was extra sensitive is the word that was used. I kind of cringe at that wording now, but it's sort of true. I mean, I have always deeply cared about what others think of me, their viewpoint of me. I've realized in the later years of my life that that's somewhat unhealthy. I think it's good to a degree. I mean, you don't want to be someone who just doesn't care about others' thoughts and opinions. You don't want to be that kind of individual. You can easily turn into someone who's rather rude as a result of that. But at the same time, if someone's unhappy with me for any reason, even if I know that I'm not at fault here and that they're off, it eats away at me. It really does. And I've been learning to work through that and trying to find that balance where I still care what people think about me, because I think we should. I think we should be empathetic towards others, but where it doesn't eat away at me quite as much, where it's not such an unhealthy degree of it, if that makes sense. Now, recognizing that about myself and knowing that it's something I need to be actively working through, and actually knowing how to work through that and improve on it are two totally different things. I have improved a little bit over the years, but there's a process to go still. So, not just from a standpoint of protecting my business and thus my ability to take care of my family, but just on a very deep personal level, I don't want anyone to be upset at me. I realize that that's going to happen. I realize as I put myself out there more and more, especially online, that's going to happen. So, I mean, those are risks I'm willing to take, but yeah, I still don't like it. It still really bothers me. So, anyway, this person left me left that feedback specifically under my comment on somebody else's post trying to get a plumber. I mean, they're intentionally trying to stop me from getting this job. I'm overpriced. I don't have your back. That was their wording. Doesn't have your back. And that I don't allow you to get other quotes. So I'm gonna kind of back up here a moment again. Give you a little bit of context here. This particular individual had been a long-time customer of mine for quite a few years. So I don't think that they truly feel I'm overpriced. If they did, they had many opportunities to say something to me about it, or to just decide not to hire me for the next job. Yet over and over again, they hired me, and they would tell me how great I am, how much they appreciate me. I really grew to care about this individual as well myself. The longer term, I care about all my customers, but the longer I have opportunities to get to know you, I mean, the deeper I'm going to care about you too. To the point where this customer, man, I have had their back. There was a situation quite a few years ago where they ended up having water damage in their home. That's why I got called out to address what caused that damage. And they had to do restoration work, and they were under a lot of stress, a lot of financial burden. They didn't ask for any kind of discount or anything, but when I realized what all they were going through, I don't say this bragging, just being open and just wanting you to understand the situation here as we get involved with it, I took it upon myself to purchase them a $200 Visa gift card. And I sent it to them just to help out a little bit, because they told me they were probably going to have to get a new toilet. And I just wanted to help them with that. They have been good people to me, and yeah, I thought they were nice people. And yeah, I just wanted to assist, so I did. So there's one instance there. They had me install a smart water shutoff valve in their home. This is another occurrence a couple years later. Great product. If you've got a leak going on in your home, it'll kind of recognize that leak's happening and shut the water off to mitigate damage. Well, they did something to it where they kind of reset the system, and they needed some technical work done. I went out there, this happened twice. I went out there 2 occasions, completely free of charge, though it was not on my end that this happened, and actually spent time on tech support. One time was over an hour, and helped them get this set back up. Again, completely free of charge. They had done something. They had modified it. They could have called tech support themselves and gone through it with tech support, as I think most individuals would, or it would have been within my rights and fair for me to charge at least something for my time, maybe a trip fee out there, but I didn't. That was 2 occasions. There was another time, not all that long ago, and this is ultimately kind of my last true dealings with them. They had a pretty major gas leak in their home. Now, I don't do large gas jobs, not at the moment. Again, I'm a one-person company. I kind of have to be a little bit selective of what I take on just because of how involved they can get. So I know of a very, very good local company who I would absolutely trust and send to my own mother's house if needed, that I know they'll do a good job for her. So I recommended them to her. They were able to track down exactly where this leak is. Well, I'm not going to get involved in all the specifics, but this ended up being a long, drawn-out process. Months. Ultimately, my understanding, I'm somewhat of a third party here, but I'll explain how deep I get with it. It's largely because they were unwilling to accept what my plumber friend was trying to tell them. Hey, this is what's going on here. This is what you need to do. And they just kept going back and forth on how they wanted to actually handle the situation, which is fine. That's understandable to want to decide how you want to handle it. It's understandable to not be 100% sure that you trust a decision if you thought it was something else. I get that. But this has been a long, drawn-out process, and all the way along, I kept getting pulled back into it. Because I'm the plumber that they trusted. Again, I have had their back. They continuously reached out to me, which is fine. I was happy to spend time talking with them. I spent many times on the phone with them after hours, sometimes over an hour per conversation. One time in particular, I completely missed dinner with my family because I was speaking to her on the phone constantly about the situation. And like I'm probably doing a bit here, so no judgment there. She tends to rant, so it wasn't even necessarily all information I needed to have. It was, I'm just there. I'm being a listening ear, and I'm being helpful where I can. I'm suggesting individuals. I'm giving guidance, saying, okay, well, yeah, if you want another option other than what they're telling you, maybe we can work with this route on it. I'm not making a penny off of this. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to make anything off it. I'm just trying to help them because they need assistance. They're worried. I'm having their back. So this whole process, I've been through that. They finally get that addressed. All that's addressed. In the process, I gotta tell you, I'm starting to recognize this individual seems like their character is changing. I had referred two people who I know to be wonderful individuals, different tradesmen, different aspects of the industry, out to her. Both of these people actually told me that they wished I hadn't referred them because of the way that she treated them, which was a really big surprise to me. I actually even told one of them, wow, that's shocking. I haven't had that situation with him. I have now. So anyway, all that goes on. They finally get that addressed. They reach out to me a little bit later. They want to go ahead and proceed with a larger plumbing job. And I give them a quote for it. They say, yeah, let's go ahead and proceed. It requires me special ordering quite a few $100s worth of materials. When you special order something, you generally can't return it. And if you do, there's going to be a restock fee. So I guess it's sort of on me to not have got it in writing that they wanted to move forward with this. But at the same time, I trusted this individual. I think trust goes both ways. I felt they trusted me. I trusted them. And so they assured me, yeah, you got the job. We want to do it. We even picked a day. I mean, it was set up. The project was scheduled. So I placed order for materials. Well, day of. Literally, I've got the parts in my vehicle. I'm on my morning job. They're my second job. I'm ready to head that way. I don't really even have time to restructure my day at this point. The whole day was planned around their job. My morning job I took on, the later call was all planned around where I was going to be, what I was going to be doing. Very minimal things on either end of their job because theirs is the big one I need to be focusing on. Day of, they cancel on me. They say, we're having second thoughts, kind of getting cold feet. May want to change things around. We're not sure. We'll let you know. I was polite about it. I did remind them. I sort of already special ordered this material, and it's kind of too late for me to modify my day at this point. Are we sure this is how we want to proceed with it? Like, yeah, sorry about it. Like, okay, cool. I could have made them pay me for the material, but I kind of figured this job's going to come back up, or I'll have another opportunity to use this material on another job at some point down the line. It's a lot of money. It's actually, at this point, it was coming up towards Christmas time. I mean, this is a terrible time of year for me to get burdened with multiple $100s of material that I wasn't supposed to be burdened with, but you know what? Again, I've got their back. I know they've been through a lot, and I know that ultimately I'm going to be able to float this material for a little bit, and I can work with them on it. So I did. I didn't ask them to pay anything for that. I didn't go to return it. I didn't ask them to pay a restock fee. Nothing. I hung on to it, knowing the job's probably going to come up, but if not, at some point I'll have an opportunity to use this. I'll be okay. I think they're in a more difficult situation than I am, so I'm not going to push it. Well, a few months go by, and they decide, now at this point I have had the opportunity to use that material. I've used it. I was very grateful to be able to use it on job, get that money back. Now a few months have gone by, and they've decided, hey, we want to move forward with this again. I purchased the material again. They've assured me I have the job. We've got a date set up. Then I find out from a buddy of mine, hey, do you know this person? This is another plumber of mine. This plumber texts me after hours. I'm at an event at my daughter's school, and they tell me, yeah, I actually, I just quoted this job for these people, and they're upset at me because they said that you were a lot less. Again, the first thing they said, their complaint about me was that I'm overpriced, yet they've used me for years. They've never suggested I'm overpriced. And the other plumber they had out was a lot more expensive than me. So I'm not the cheapest around. I'm not going to claim to be the most affordable and economic. My focus is on high quality, which includes my materials. I mean, I'm not going to be the cheapest. I'm not the most expensive. But either way, it all goes against what they're saying. So he tells me that they're upset at him because he was quite a few $100s more than I was for the same job. And I said, yeah, I've actually got that job scheduled. Now at this point, man, my heart dropped when he told me that. I'm okay if you go with someone else. I am. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I mean, heck, I got a customer this past week. I've been doing his work for quite a while now, a couple of years. His water heater went out over the weekend. I didn't see his text in time. It's the weekend. I'm, again, one-person company. I'm not open on the weekends. He had texted me, reached out on Sunday to see if I might be able to take care of his water heater this week. And then he texted me a couple hours later, say, hey, another plumber said they can come Monday morning, so I'm going to let them take care of it for me. Man, I think that's wonderful. He got the help he needed. I even texted him back. I was like, hey, I'm sorry I didn't see this till now, but I'm really glad you're in good hands. And he's like, thank you so much for understanding. You're still my plumber. I'm still going to move forward with you with other plumbing jobs. Like, man, I understand. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. But this is the second time that I've special ordered products. The second time they assured me I had it. The second time we scheduled it. And now I find out she's getting other quotes on this. And at that point, I wasn't comfortable proceeding with the job. So I slept on it. I didn't want to respond right away. I was hurt. I didn't want to respond out of being hurt. I was kind of upset, I think rightfully so. I didn't want to respond out of that, so I waited till the next day. And I reached out and basically as politely as I possibly could, and trying to word things carefully where I wasn't really expressing judgment towards them for their actions, because I get it. I mean, I let them know that, hey, under the circumstances, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and just withdraw my bid. However, this other individual who you had reached out to, who quoted it for you, though he may have been a little bit more expensive, I could tell you honestly, because again, he's a good friend of mine. I can tell you honestly, he'll do good work for you. If you go with him, you're going to be satisfied with the quality of the work. I mean, I'm still encouraging them to go with somebody who's going to take care of them, but at this point, I already put my finances at risk once for them, and now they're doing this to me again after I've already special ordered the product. I gotta take care of my family too. So, never heard from them again after that. I figured they were probably upset, but I mean, I hated that. I really did. But and then this message pops up on Nextdoor that I'm overpriced. I don't have your back. I don't allow you to get other quotes. So I did clarify the other quote thing. Told them that I'm really sorry they feel that way. I don't mind at all if you get other quotes, which is 100% true. I've encouraged people to get other quotes on larger jobs, whether it's something I feel I'm the best price on or not. It's a wise thing to get other quotes, properly compare. Even if I'm charging a fair price for what I'm going to do, maybe you don't need the higher end products that I'm comfortable providing. I don't want to provide something else, but you're okay with what company B might provide. It's a little bit lower tier, but it's the price point that matches you better. Yeah, compare apples to apples. It doesn't always mean I'm the right fit. I have no problem with you getting other quotes. I think it's a good thing to do. And if you get other quotes and you don't go with me, okay, so long as you're happy, I'm happy. I've got work. I'm grateful for that. I'm able to take care of my family, and I want you to get the individual you need and the work done you need. So I respond, I'm sorry you feel that way, that there's a little bit more to the story than you shared, that I'm happy for you to get other quotes, but that's generally going to be done before you assure me I've got the job and tell me to proceed with ordering hundreds of dollars of special order equipment. And then I understood the first time, but the second time was a bit much. I haven't heard back from them. I don't know if I will or not. It's okay if I don't, but the overpriced thing, I mean, that, I don't know that really bothers me too much. I know I'm not overpriced. I don't say this to brag, but I mean, right here, I've got Best of Georgia 2024. I'm a one-person company, and I've been honored to have been voted by customers in my area, voted higher than all the other plumbing companies in Georgia. I've won Best of Georgia 3 years in a row now. I have won Best of my city. I'm not going to specify the city publicly in here, but I've won Best of my city. I think it's 7 or 8 years in a row now. All of my reviews online, I've got well over 100, maybe over 200 views online now, with the exception of 2 reviews, which are by individuals I have never met, who left absolutely no content. One of them is a whole other part of the country. I don't think these are real reviews. With the exception of 2 of them, all of my reviews are glowing reviews. I'm not the cheapest. I know I'm not the cheapest, but I do charge a fair rate for what I do, and I believe my customers tend to see that. I believe they saw that too, because again, they used me for years repetitively, and when they got this other quote, it was more expensive than me, to the point that they felt that the other guy was ripping them off because of how much more he was than I was. I'm not really upset by the doesn't allow you to get extra quote things, because I know there's more to that story. That they know there's more to that story. They're just upset and they're spewing that, but doesn't have your back. That's really hurt me. Like I've been thinking back on the last couple of days. Everything I just shared, I've probably had their back more than I've had any other customers. I mean, I try to take care of all my customers, but I've sent them a couple $100 unrequested to help out with a financial burden. I've spent hours on the phone with them after hours during my dinner time with my family, trying to help walk them through steps they can take on a process of something that I'm not involved with whatsoever. I'm not going to get a penny from. I've gone out to their home multiple times free of charge to help them go through tech support to address a problem that they caused. How can you say that I don't have your back? So, yeah, it bothers me. But, I mean, from a third-party perspective, is there anything... I'm trying to be as open as I can in my story without sharing confidential, private information. I don't want to really give away details of the person. That's not right. But as open as I can be about this, I mean, is there anything that you're seeing that maybe I could have approached this differently? That I could have maybe had a better attitude on? I mean, I'm not upset that they chose to get another quote at this point. I'm past that. Yeah, there was an initial, wow, really? You're doing that to me after everything I've done for you? But, I slept it off the first night, and we're good there. Honestly, the only reason I ended up walking away from it was because they put my family in financial jeopardy once, and now they're doing the exact same thing again. And I gotta put my family first when it comes to my finances. I mean, I love my customers. I do. I want to help my customers. I offer my customers the best pricing I can compared to, given what I'm providing for them. But I can't put my family in financial jeopardy unnecessarily multiple times for the same thing for the same person. So if there's something I could have done differently, let me know. If there's a different way I could handle this, let me know. Or if you're somebody who has struggled with anxiety and you figured out a breakthrough, let me know. I would welcome any feedback you have. So I know it's been kind of long. I know it's been a rant. Nothing at all like our usual content. Thank you. Thank you for joining me on this. Peace to all of y'all. You guys have a wonderful day.